That thing is one spoiled bitch. That's all I can say. Alright, I got the plastic off. It's yielding a bunch of boxes, and this stuff I think is metal. Yeah, so we'll need some wire cutters. Well, I've been out here for maybe an hour, still unpacking. The box wheels came in. Here we've got some quite large boxes. This is a front bumper, OEM E39 M5. This one's a little different though. It's a European bumper actually. Reason being, all US E39 M5s came with the cold weather package, which would then have holes. One there and one there. This is the back of the front, center, for the headlight washer system. So I had to go on real OEM, tell them my car's a Euro spec, and get the one without those holes. And there it is. So there's that. This box is the rear bumper. PDC. Made sure to get the PDC holes. Other than that, I don't think there's any specification that's required for that. Why? Why am I putting bumpers on the car? The back one cracked. It was hit in Kent several weeks ago. It's in terrible condition. If nothing else, it would definitely need to be sanded and repainted. It's got a lot of scuffs, chips, and now a nasty crack along the whole back. The front one, why am I replacing that? It's aftermarket. It's aftermarket, it's also cracked. And I have a buyer for it. There's the crack in the front one. And it's got stone chips in it. And it's aftermarket, and it doesn't fit right, as you can see. So in addition to that, we have a set of wheels. Why am I replacing my wheels? Meguiar's Tire Shine totally f***ed them over. And I've sold them, so it's not going to cost me a whole lot. You never see on camera, it's there, and it's not great. These are brand new style 65s, OEM. 18 by what, 8 and 9.5 or something like that. Stock sizes. Factory brand, perfect new finish. Look at that. That is so beautiful. They do an amazing job on these. They're all hand done, hand finished. The inside, powder coated, maybe it's paint. I think it's powder coated black. Very cool. Here's the tires. So we got wheels, tires, bumpers. In addition to bumpers, I'm replacing all of the trim. This is an entire winter worth of work here. All of this trim will be replaced, front and back. That little door. The diffuser will be replaced and painted black, jet black, BMW code 668. The front, there's the front grille. We're going to replace the front grille, the front trim, fog lights surrounds, that grille, those grills. Those are pre-facelift M5. I have post-facelift M5. Coolant expansion tank. Mine's very yellowed, which means the plastic is brittle. There's a new one. Bumper trim. There's the fan blade. A little bit of trunk trim, front grille, diffuser, door trim, all of that. I got a buyer for that, so all of that's going to be replaced. Fuel tank straps because they're rusty. Chassis brace, rusty. Center exhaust brace, rusty. Multiple parts. Front grills, about 5,000 different kind of screws, washers, clips, grommets, bolts, nuts, all of that. There's the door trim, bumper gaskets. You see it, it's nuts, and there's still a couple parts on the way. I have the bearings. This I'm putting in right now because my existing one is broken, and let me say, the new plastic on here, the tactile feedback of the buttons, that's, you know, what it felt like new. It's amazing. Same thing with this. The plastic is so much nicer on these new parts. Alright, I've been out here for a couple hours now. Been replacing a bunch of the smaller parts that are easy to do and don't require a lot of work from me. So I've got a fresh door sill here, complete without any broken pins or big scuffs in it, as well as the sill strip without any scuffs, so that's new. We have replaced the center console thing in there. The other one was really shiny and it had some scratches in it and didn't match the handle. It was a really cheap part, so I replaced that as well. Under the hood, I'm not going to open it again, but I replaced the ducts that go from the cabin boxes into the firewall. I had broken clips on those, so those are now installed correctly both sides. And over here I replaced this. This is the primary switch. I think I mentioned this before. It feels so nice. The plastics are a lot higher quality than what was there before. Well, probably the same, but it hasn't worn. So that's a nice fresh piece now as well. Good progress. I'm really happy with these wheels. The inside is black, as I mentioned, so that'll be really nice on maintenance. And the outside is just a gorgeous, gorgeous finish. Oh, there's nothing like a 5 Series. Let's take a look at what we've done in here. Did you know that in your 2000 BMW M5 you can carry 2 bumpers and they fit? Trunk, doors, windows closed. Passenger front seat moved up about 6 inches, tilted forwards about 2 inches. Put a little bit of paper on so they don't touch or rattle around or hit your M audio subs or the opening in your split fold seats, and they'll be good to go. So I'm going to take those over. I got the diffuser in there, and hopefully pick them up later this week. It's update time. You saw all the parts that I got. They've now been moved from the garage, at least in most part. This is all the spring work I've been talking about. This video is going to act and serve as a spring update video. It is definitely an ongoing video. So the front bumper has been painted and installed by myself. A DIY on that has likely already been uploaded to the channel. Front of this car is now essentially new. Front, brand new OEM front bumper, fog lights surrounds. We did the headlights, grills, lower grill. Everything up here is pretty perfect. Let me comment on bumper fitment. My previous was an aftermarket. It would stick out a little bit. This one, a little bit of fidgeting, is about as good as it gets. Very happy with that fitment. It's totally flush. Same story on this side. Excellent, excellent job in parts there. The aftermarket ones, they just don't fit right. Sometimes they'll bubble up here, they pop up a little bit, or they pop out here too much and then they bend. I've seen them crack. Not going to be the case with an OEM part. So all of that's new in the front. Interior, I do not have a key on me right now, but the entire instrument cluster surround has been replaced, as well as the switches, the switch knobs, the bezels, the dimmer switch, the dummy switch. All of that's brand new plastic. It feels really good. The tactile feedback is much improved. Replaced the telephone tray in the center console. I apologize for the lighting here. So things are in good shape inside. All right, to-do list. Actually, another thing I did, bearings. Bearing video has been up for a while now, I would imagine. Here are the old ones. The front one clicked, front left one clicked. I'm not doing the rears. Both fronts are done. I'm happy with that, and it's silent now. So I'm gonna get rid of the old bearings. I did the bolts as well. Moving on to future projects. I've got a bunch of stuff under the car that's gonna be replaced. Not gonna be able to see because it is after midnight right now. But chassis braces, center exhaust brace, and fuel tank straps. Those are the rusty bits underneath the car that will be replaced. Also notice, got a bit of a friendly rivalry going on right now with the license plate. Thought that would be funny. And I also put my license plate frame back on. So that work under the car. Fuel filter, we're gonna do that. Rear bumper has been painted, not installed. It's actually sitting right here. Ready to be installed, simply waiting on the foam bumper insert that sits in between the bumper and the car. So that'll be here shortly. We'll have that on. You'll see this later in this video. I have the rear bumper trim here, the rear bumper guides, a gasket which we may or may not need for the rear. We needed one for the front, so I have an extra one of those. And then this is my bag of parts, extra parts that clips, screws, brackets, nuts, bolts, retainers, washers that will be put to use all over the entire car. So stay tuned, still a lot going on, including new style 65s, new tires. This setup's going to Colton on his 01 540. New wheel studs, valves, gonna be all new wheels and tires. And then the door trim, this one over here is a little hacked up and a little faded, so I'm just gonna replace that. And I'm doing all of this, you know, this is a lot of money and stuff here, but I'm able to sell a lot of the old parts and recoup a large amount of that. So it's a win-win. Also, let me mention the diffuser. I plastid-dipped my old diffuser black. I really like the black look. This one is now painted jet black metallic, or not metallic, jet black code 668 BMW paint, ready to be installed in the new bumper when that is installed. The plastid-dip over the winter held up decently well. Around the exhaust here, it's worn off on this part right here, and then up where it meets the rest of the bumper, it's definitely worn off, and this whole bumper is screwed up. It's cracked here. We've got marks and chips all over it, and it's really one of the things that brings down the car. So it'll be nice to have that replaced with the black diffuser. And I went with jet black, being a glossy clear coated black over BMW's frozen or matte finish due to cost. It's a lot cheaper to do clear coated paint, A. B, maintenance. I can wax that, I can clay it. I know how to maintain clear coat. It's something I'm decently good at. I like doing it. Frozen finishes, I don't do that, and it's a totally different procedure. So I am looking forward to having actual paint on my diffuser that I can take care of now. Down here in the basement now, I figured we'd kind of give this little update here. All of the parts arrived on April the 11th or 14th or something like that. It was a Friday, I think it was the 11th. It's now April 28th. So it's been a big project ongoing here. Still have a coolant expansion tank. The fan and fan clutch have been replaced already. This is all the door trim, rear 2 door pieces, front 2 doors, and then the fender pieces. In here, a new BMW wheel lock set, valves for the new wheels, and 16 new studs. Obviously it would have been 20, but putting in 4 locks, I only need 16. These are the fuel tank straps, fuel filter, chassis braces right here, right and left side, center exhaust brace, and the interior piece of trunk trim. So that will be replaced with the new bumper. Tires, I went with Michelin Pilot Sport All Season 3s, 275 in the rear, 245 in the front. Front wheels are there, rear wheels are there. I'm going to try to take these in, have the tires mounted on the wheels, and that'll be the last thing I do. I don't want any paint overspray. The car's going into a body shop, a few minor rust removal places, the rocker panels. So we're going to take care of that before they get bad, and I don't want paint overspray on brand new 65s. So that'll be something we do last, and then move on to the spring Zano setup. We're in the dark side of the basement now. This is the parts corner. You guys remember we filmed a video here quite a while ago going through all of the old parts that I had. These are all Colts parts from the 540. The white box is mine. We still have the DSP rear decks, actually 2 of those and 1 cover right there for it. These are my old switches that are kind of broken and glued together, but they still do work. I think Colt was going to take those. And I have some ramps here, and that box is just full of parts. So this is what I'm dealing with. But it's a lot of work here. It's going to look really nice, and I'm sure this end clip here in a couple weeks yet, the car will be very pretty. E39 Source, welcome back to the spring update. It's now 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, May 9th or 10th. I think it's the 10th, 2014. And I've spent the last 13 hours out here today and 5 hours last night completely detailing this vehicle. Every square inch has been detailed to perfection, my definition of perfection. And I can barely walk. So it's pretty good, if I may say so. I did a similar setup, similar treatment, similar process last year, and I was real happy with the results. It's all Zano. That's when I did the DIY on how to do the Zano process. Last night we did the interior, Z9 and Z10 on every stitch of leather in this vehicle. So it is feeling super soft, smells really nice, it's nice and smooth, looks clean, looks great. Steering wheel, lower dash, shift knob, everything's been cleaned inside of the glass, including the sunroof and both windshields, which is not fun. The only thing wrong with this car right now is the fact that that damn C-pillar light went out yesterday when I was working. So I'm going to have to take that apart, figure out the bulb, and replace it, and hopefully not have to replace the entire light because it's probably over $100. Door panels were cleaned, all of the leather on there. Door sills, under the seats, extensively vacuumed the carpets, everything inside was done yesterday. Today we started off simple washed the car with dishwashing soap. Then we moved on to clay bar the entire car using Z7 as a lubricant mixed in with water. Then we washed the car with Z7, thoroughly dried it, application of Z6 followed by Zano Z5, Z6, then Z2, Z6 again, and then Z8. And that's where we are right now. My hands are dirty, but oh, it's glass smooth, it's crystal clear. I'm really happy with the results. These are new style 65 wheels. The wheels on this car have never moved this car. They were installed right there and set down into rest with new lugs and new BMW keys. They've got that funky looking design for the key. So literally the wheels and tires can't get any better than this, although I guess they could be Super Sport tires. These are Pilot Sport All Season 3s, Michelin. I would have loved to go with the Super Sport, but unfortunately we live in Ohio where it's currently raining. So 4 wheels and 4 tires are installed. Both bumpers are now done. They were painted, of course, and they've now been installed on the car by myself. They've been buffed. Just got this car back from the body shop yesterday. Had some work done here on this rocker panel. The entire panel was repainted. Over the winter, it developed a little bit of leukemia right here. So they took that out. While he was doing it, he rebuilt this entire jack stand here. There is a little bit of rust around here, and he said when he took the cover off, it was pretty grisly. So all of that is redone, completely rebuilt, and then same deal back here. So now that jack point is about perfect. If I can stand and kneel down again, last year he did this one. I don't know why this was such a problem on this car. They were all rusty. That one's now perfect too. The only one remaining is that one. And that's probably the worst one on the car, and it will be done later. It's nasty, I'll show you. Swallow my pride here, look at that. That one's real dirty, so he's gonna fix that next time the car's in the shop, which will be quite a ways from now, quite a while. So we'll have all the rockers perfect. There's no other rust on the car. Actually, the bottom door seam on the driver's door had opened up, so we'll have that fixed at the same time. So back from the shop, fully detailed, ready for summer. Rain-X the glass, as I said. Really happy with it. Rear bumper's done. Diffuser's painted 668 jet black. Exhaust is looking nice. License plate's done. Got the summer carpet mats in. Oh, what can I say? I'm really happy with it. I'm ready for Timmy Fest now. So I have an alignment scheduled on next Monday. Today's Saturday. Next Monday at Dave Walter BMW, Akron, Ohio. New wheels, new tires. It's been at least 10,000 miles since an alignment was done, and I've had both struts out doing the bearings. So I'm going to do that. You know, new tires is always a good idea. So we have that scheduled, and after that, the only simple DIY of installing a new coolant overflow tank. I guess that's what that's called, coolant reservoir. Mine's all yellow, so I got a new one. But that's the update for today. Apologize for a 5-minute clip, but that's 18 hours combined work, and I'm very pleased. Welcome back to E39 Source. It is now June the 14th, 2014. Working on this car this spring has been a very long and ongoing project, spending tons of time and tons of money. But we've really taken the biggest issues with the car, which weren't that bad, and smoothed them out. So let's do a walk around now in detail. The front bumper, you've seen all the clips of that. I know this is a long video by now, but it's all done, all taken care of, and the front end of this car is pretty immaculate with the exceptions of the handful of stone chips that have come in the hood in the last 20,000, 30,000 miles since that's been done. But other than that, the front is really in great shape. Wheels and tires and studs, pretty perfect. We'll be doing brakes probably in the next 2 years, next year and a half up here. Not a big deal. Door trim, excellent condition. Last clip you saw was the Zano. That turned out really well. Couldn't be happier with the way the paint looks and feels. You know, it's got its imperfections, what 14-year-old car doesn't. But as far as that goes, I love that. It's great. I get a lot of compliments on that, especially at car shows. Rear bumper, done. Exhaust, detailed. License plate, fun. All of the above. We just ended the Timmy Fest weekend. You saw the video from Timmy Fest, Gold Rush 2014 in Cleveland, Ohio. All of that's behind us now, so I figured it's finally time to wrap this thing up. Anyways, about an hour ago, I put another coat of Zano Z8, a little bit of tire shine, cleaned the wheels up, all of the above, and I've been driving around my town here, Hudson, Ohio, looking for a scenic place to film, and everywhere I go, it's totally packed. It's Saturday, it's a beautiful day, there's a lot of people, a lot of kids out, dogs. This is the best place I've found, over here behind our public library. And we've got the Eagles blasting over there in that Chrysler, but I figure this will do. It's in the shade, it looks nice. So Zeno turned out really well. If you can see the beautiful shine and reflection in that, it's absolutely gorgeous, as I said in the last clip. The interior has all been detailed to as good as this car can get in its physical condition. The new door sills, the floor mats were new last year, but it's been crazy, as I've said. So the final product I'm really happy with. Finally, I did get the expansion tank done under the hood. I didn't actually do a DIY on that just because I was new to the process myself, and it's actually quite easy to do. So I don't think anybody's going to need that, but I will pop this open and I'll show you what that looks like. Really happy with that. It's nice and white, kind of hard to see on camera. There we go. It's perfectly clear. Looks totally different. At Timmy Fest, everybody had their hoods open down there, and there was one other guy that had a full new cooling system. His probably blew up on him, so he did have a nice new shiny tank. But this was the only other car that didn't have a real deep yellow orange expansion tank, so that was kind of cool. I was actually without this car for about 10 days over Memorial Day weekend. I had it into Dave Volter BMW to do the four-wheel alignment with the new tires and wheels. I definitely wanted to get alignment done. While it was in there, I thought I'd have him put my fuel filter on, which is located right under the driver's door. Attempted to do it myself, but the M5 is different than the other 5 Series in the way that it has these pressure fit clips. If you've ever used an air gun, compressed air, a nail gun, something like that, it's that same kind of connector, and mine were so rusty and seized on there I was unable to get it off. So I took it to the dealer. They tried to get it, and they ended up damaging the fuel pressure regulator, seal, and one of the fuel lines, the fuel line from the filter up here into the engine bay, which is this line right here. So we had to order parts from Germany that took about 10 days to get in by boat or horse, or however the hell it takes 10 days to get stuff from Germany now. So I was given a F34 328 Gran Turismo as my loaner vehicle, which was very impressive for a new 3 Series. Not something I would trade this car for, but really a nice 3 Series. So future projects, not going to be anything big here for a while. I've spent my share of time and money working on this thing over the last month, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of time off. But one of the things I want to have dealt with and sorted out is the parking brake. Parking brake in E39 suck. E46, they're all the same, they're crap. A couple of years ago, I had it totally redone. I had new shoes put in the rear for the parking brake. I had new rotors. I had new rear brake pads in the calipers. I had the whole rear brakes redone, and it worked really well for about 6 weeks. I'm not hard on it. I don't pull it while I'm driving, aside from, of course, the bedding job at first after you put it in. It's supposed to go up about 4 clicks. Look at that. Mine comes all the way up here. Now, I've taken steps to adjust it. I've taken the rear wheels off, the rear rotors off, and then the brake caliper carrier and the caliper, and my pads look brand new. Pads are great. Now, first problem, there's 2 Bowden cables that come down for the brakes, parking brakes. This one over here, it's broken somewhere. You pull the handbrake in the car, it moves the cable there, and it's not moving out here. So somewhere it's broken. To get to that, you've got to remove the exhaust as well as the drive shaft in the transmission tunnel under the car. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. This side, the cable works fine. The shoes are in great shape. I just can't get it to bite. I've taken the little adjustment wheel down there. I've turned that. I've tightened it up in here for it to be loose enough that it doesn't rub when the brake is off like this, so I could drive it and it wouldn't rub right now. But then you pull it all the way up and it's still not strong enough to hold the car. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but that's crap, and I want to have both cables replaced. Probably be okay with the shoes. I'll throw new rotors on there. That's just one of the annoying things with this car. Aside from that, everything else is pretty good. I still have no, trying to unlock the column there. A little bit of Vanos rattle on startup. All of those lights will go off if I plug my seatbelt in, like such. Everything gets warm. Did an oil change a couple weeks ago, so that's good. The Mark IV is working beautifully, and if you notice, I turned that on and it connects to my iPhone, wirelessly without me having to touch it and starts playing my library. This is thanks to a little product I have in there called the TuneLink Auto. I'm going to do a separate video on that. It uses my hardwired auxiliary input into the BM53 radio, so that's hardwired auxiliary. We'll turn this up. Can come on my phone, hit next, full control of the volume, everything's right here. Bluetooth from my phone in very good quality with DM audio. Sounds excellent, and I love that system. That's just as seamless as the 2014 328 Gran Turismo was. So, very cool. That's exactly what I wanted, and I'll make a video about that in the future. One more little stupid thing I fixed here for not that much money was the gas cap door. This little tether on mine had broken off, so I replaced it with a new part from ECS. This is the correct part number. It was kind of hard to find the correct part number, but it now says that on there, and it's blue, and it's the exact same cap that a 2014 BMW uses. So maybe you call me crazy, but I cared enough to replace that. My goal with this car is for it to be very clean, yet used and driven, taken care of, and factory. Now this is a 2000 car. Those aren't the right headlights, they're not the right tail lights, not the right steering wheel, navigation. It's okay to me because everything that I've done is a BMW part. The only parts on this car that are not manufactured by BMW would be the short shift kit and the TuneLink for the stereo. But the short shifters are UUC Evo 3, I think that's what it's called, or Evo 4, whatever the one that's on their site right now. It's one of those with the dual shear selecting rod. Really, that's the only aftermarket stuff this car has, and I want to keep it that way. Alright, finally wrapping up what I know is a really long video. I've been crazy busy with this. It's finally time to start driving it, start enjoying it, and just relax. Anything breaks, I'll fix it. Stupid little things I'll take care of. No more big projects though for a while. Current mileage is 185, 231. It's really getting up there, I know, it's getting kind of crazy. But the alignment was done, everything came in total spec, nothing was out. Well, the front toe was way off, but that was aligned. I mean, the caster of everything is, the bolt-in alignment angles are good, so. We're happy for a while. Stay tuned. There'll still be some videos, little projects here and there, but as I said, nothing too big. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in a future video. Bye-bye.